Welcome back to Stasis Geek and my drama recommendations. Now, there were obvious ones that's going to come off this list straight away, like Shawshank Redemption. Not going to make the list, it's a bit obvious. Now, there is a couple that if I didn't put it on the list, I would be told off. So, I've put it on there, and they're lovable movies. So, what I've done is made the list about the ones, if it comes on, you do this, and you don't touch the remote, and you watch it. So, this is recommendations of kind of just sit back, relax, and watch some good old movie. Yeah, because drama's a bit vague, can be sometimes. Now, I've got not hard-hitting drama. You know, there are ones you go, whoa, that's intense. You know, I've done ones that if it comes on, you're going to like it. Yeah, and the first one is a movie that if you got it pitched today, you'd be like, hard pass. That's not going to work. What are you talking? That's so stupid. But it's so well written, it makes it a gripping story because it's about the porn industry. It's Boogie Nights. Yeah, this shouldn't be made. This is everything written pitch-wise is wrong, but it's so well written and so well directed. It brings you on this story of Dirk Diggler. Anybody's watched it, you know the bit of this up-and-coming industry star and his kind of downfall, you know, and then revival. Yeah, it's a great movie. You know, it shouldn't work. You've got Burt Reynolds in it, you know, producer, and it's got, you know, everybody's got a weird relationship with each other. There's a great friendship story. It's all a bit quirky. Everybody, you know, is fighting for the next, you know, big thing, I suppose. But it's just so well written, it's gripping. So yeah, it's a weird one because it's about the industry, you know, what it's in. Yeah, it's just who pitched it, and I went, yeah, that's it. Mark Wahlberg as the main star, and then they ran with it. It's just like weird, but it works. It is a good one. Now, my next one, I had to put it on because it's in my top 3 of my girlfriends. And if I didn't put it in one of the lists, could have gone anywhere. I wouldn't hear the last of it. And I don't think I need to say much about the movie. It's Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump. Now, I'm hoping 99.9% of people definitely have watched this. You know, because it's a fun movie. The soundtrack makes this movie, but it's a journey through life. And it's just, the journey's fun. That's the only way I can say. If you've not watched it, do it now. Because it's just a bit of playful fun, isn't it? You know, the subject matter doesn't have to be there, but the journey, the time, the change in the history bits, I don't mind. You know, I am a history buff. Because it just plays on to being fun. It doesn't hurt anyone. This is a movie you can just sit and watch. So this had to be there because I'll get told off. So that's why. I don't think I need to say much more about Forrest Gump. Do I? Yeah. It's an easy for me, you know. For my girlfriend, it'd probably be like a 9 or 10. For me, a hard 8. Yeah. Next one, I love. And it's got Kathy Bates in it. And when you hear that, you're like, I know what it is. But it's not the one you think. Now, this movie, it's got thriller. It will probably make you cry at parts. It has a great friendship. It shows the, you know, how this time period, it has, you know, the flashback moments of what happens. Fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. It's a great one, this, because it's got the friendship on this is the great. The 2 women, you know, down, you know, one of them's downtrodden, you know, the other one wants a friend and all that, and how they play off each other. And then you got the barbecue. It's brilliant. You know, this is superb. I love this. It is a great friendship story. It is one that you can watch and you're just going to go, I love this movie. You know, if you've not watched this, go and do it. This is probably top recommendation because it's so sweet. It is so well done. It has twists. Barbecue. But it's just, this is, you know, this plays on, plays to it, it does. So yeah, fried green tomatoes, it's just really well done, and it's done in the style of a story, and then you get the flashbacks, so it's what happened, and then Kathy Bates is living, hearing what the story whilst living her life, and it plays out. So you get the two sides, not much from the, I suppose, at the time, current day, and it's all set in the past, and it shows how hard these two women fight for everything, and the friendship gets built on that, and it's really sad. Yeah, so it's good. Now the next one is got probably every great British actor and Ryan Phillips. What is weird? I always found, and it's Gosford Park. Now this is a true upstairs downstairs, and it has a great hidden story about finding your birth mother and then a murder, and it shows the two different systems, and it's like, I love this poster because it shows there's the upper class, there's the kind of working lower class, that's helping out. So you've got these different stories, different running. Now if you like Downton Abbey, if you not watched this, you're gonna love it. It's very similar, plays off, I think, these upstairs downstairs things, play off each other to do Downton Abbey fans, but it is really good. It has Maggie Smith, all these ones, it just has every great English actor at the time, so that everybody's on point. It's a great story, it hit home to me. I love it. It's a good one. Yeah, so Gosford Park, it's got a little bit of mystery into it, so would it fit into mystery? Don't know, but for me, drama, do it, it's there. Now the next one, 100%, you're a psychopath if you don't have a tear in your eye at the end of this movie. There's something wrong. Now this is a great, would you call it a classic now? Maybe you would, but it's Dustin Hoffman, John Voight, Midnight Cowboy. And the premise of this is simple if you've not watched it. One, you're going to cry at the end, so grip yourself. But Cowboy goes to New York, tries to better himself, cannot, and struggles and struggles and struggles, and means to the end to get there, and he finds Dustin Hoffman's character, Ratso, as his unlikely ally, friend in their struggle through being in New York. And it's great. Their friendship is a strange friendship, but they connect really well. This is a brilliant movie. Absolutely brilliant. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's going to be boring, isn't it? Yeah, go on then, stick it on. And then I was like, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because the story's a simple one, but the integral bits of the story that they clip in to build this friendship until the end is absolutely brilliant. Now, this the inner story is just the hardship. There's not much stories out, but the adventure, I suppose, to the end. Oh, you're gonna get it. It's literally it's hard hitting, and everybody again. Dustin Hoffman in this is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. I would have thought this is an obvious one, but Midnight Cowboy, maybe not. To be under 30s, maybe not. Other things. Now, the next one is an Al Pacino, and I love this movie. It's a fun. I would call it more of a fun comedy drama, but it's very hard at the same time. Scent of a Woman. I love this. I think this is great. So it's the prep boy has got to kind of babysit, this blind man, and it's his adventure getting to them to what, because he's getting kicked out of school, and there's, and it's that little, their kind of, again, it's kind of a weird friendship, how their friendship grows, it's kind of Frank, who the Al Pacino's character, he's lost hurrah. He kind of sees it, he's kind of depressed, but he's going out on a whim. But then it all changes, and it's just, I don't know how to think. It's a really fun movie because it's literally pockets of adventure and like heartache and of like seeing this person like do this to themselves, but then they do something really special and then it's like that. So it is a really fun movie. I would have said this is another must, but speaking to people, a lot of people haven't seen it. Now I'm sure Al Pacino was nominated for an Oscar if he didn't win this. So yeah, it's the acting on it is really, really good. Yeah. So Centerville, yeah, it's a good little story of having the money, but kind of losing your sight, and then what that does to your mental state, and then kind of having to have a babysitter, I suppose, like that, and then his fun way of manipulating in a very strange manner to do what he wants to do because he's got the cash, and that friendship between, I suppose, babysitter, and blind man is come together, and then it's just a fun ride on, and it's got a great, entanglement between, what's going on in the school as well, and then kind of this babysitter journey. It's the only way you can call it is a babysitter, because it is kind of like that's what he's doing. He's trying to protect him. Yeah. Now the next one is gonna make Sandy Q very happy, because you can't have a movie recommendation apparently on my list without Sir Alex Guinness. And this one could have sat in the war section, but I've whacked it in drama for one reason, because it's so loosely based on the actual person it's portraying, name swapped, and it's all slightly different. And it is the bridge on the River Kwai. This is Sir Alex Guinness in this is top draw acting. It has things. Now, it portrays a time, that, Singapore, I suppose concentration kind of working camps in Thailand, and then the play on that they've got to build these bridges. And it's kind of that he's the Alex Guinness character, he's struggled to kind of, I've got to kind of protect my soldiers, and do the right things. And there's like goes in the cooler, I suppose, and things like that. And them scenes, with the Japanese and all that, it's really strong. And how, the malaria and all that gets kind of into. But it's a great story about, he just gets so fixated about building the bridge, and they've got to, spoiler, they got to blow it up at the end, and it's kind of his realization at the last moment, what is he doing? Yeah, he's still fighting a war. Now, I've taken this off the war one because in reality it's slightly different. So if you want to read the real story, go ahead of it, but it is very, very interesting, the real story, because he still did a lot of the same thing, because he knew there was different, officers are officers, soldiers are soldiers to Japanese, and they got treated slightly different. So he took it, as Alex Guinness's character does, for the team, for his soldiers, and he did it in real life. And the hardship he had to go to protect his soldiers, it's the same. The only difference is the bit about the bridge. Yeah, how that all played out. It didn't happen in real life. I can understand why they did it like this, because it's a more gripping story. It gives you the reality of man, I suppose, in that environment of like getting so drawn into themselves, of like, I am the best at doing this, I will build these bridges, and it's kind of that. But it's a very epic moment. It is not just a simple POW story. It's great. It is. So yeah, it's in they have it in Burma, I believe, in this one, so it's like that. But it's mixed into what happened in the war. So yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one, and Sandy will be happy that I put an Alex Gillis one in my recommendation, and it's the only one. So yeah, it's a brilliant. This is like for me. This is a 9 out of 10. This is a good blooming movie. Yeah, so that's it. And yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's just good. It's just good. If it comes on, you're gonna sit down and watch it. So that's it. Now the next one, is probably the most hard hitting movie, just because of the subject matter. Now this one, again, it could have gone in war easily, but it's not a war portrayal movie, and that's what's different about it, because it doesn't come to the point of, an actual soldier in war. Yeah, it's not that. It's a journalist. Now this is a great one because it shows a period of time around the Vietnam War, but it shows it from a different angle of what's happening in the region, and it's a very compelling one, and it's probably the most intense one I've got in there, and it's the killing fields. Yeah, so this is journalist in Cambodia trying to get the information of what's going on in Cambodia. You got the regime there, and then you got the kind of war spilling over from Vietnam, and then they're kind of trying to gather the truth to the West of what is going on, to fight the war, give funding to what's going in Cambodia. They're kind of forgotten that this genocide is actually happening here. It's not just in Vietnam. It's spilled over to all the other countries, but this one is Cambodia. It's a really hard, movie to watch, because it just shows the subject matter of, if you turn your back at the wrong moment, things can go horribly wrong for everyone. And this does. It shows, literally, we're going to bulldoze over you, and we don't care because we're the stronger army. Yeah. And it's a good one if you know the subject matter of the Vietnam War, and it spills into how it spilled in Cambodia. But this could have been this is a kind of based on a true-ish story, but they I'd said this had to go in drama because they dramatized it too much for the movie, because they changed certain aspects of what happened in real life. So I had to kind of no, it's got to go in drama. It's too off topic to be real biography. So yeah, it's a good one. They have the true moments in it, journalist prize winner and all that, what he tried to do, but then it's just certain bits of it completely changed, completely made up. So it had to stick in there. Same as the Bridges of Kwai. But yeah, this is the strongest one. Now, the next one has got a funny story on it. And I think I've mentioned this funny story before. Yeah. Now, this had a name change to this movie. And the name change was, and I'm sorry, but this is fact, is because when they did the screening in America, people went, I really like it, but I'm very confused that I've never heard of 1 and 2. So they changed the movie title, because this was supposed to be The Madness of King George III, but the screening people said, yes, they don't, not going to get it in America. They're not going to understand that this is not a sequel. So they called it The Madness of King George, what I think is hilarious in itself. You're like, something. But Nigel Hawthorne in this as George III is brilliant. Ian Holmes as his kind of doctor is great. Now, this has to be in drama, because nobody knows exactly. It was a hidden secret of what was going on. Why isn't the madness of King George? Nobody knows the illness to this day. It's all kind of You know, oh, it could have been that, could have been that, could have been that, could have been that. And they kind of say it in this, oh, it could have been that, and it carried on, you know. So this is a loosely based drama, I would call it, but I love it. You know, the acting in it is brilliant. You've got the two Ian Holmes. It's absolutely got like Helen Mirren as, I suppose, supporting wife Catherine. Is great, and it's not a Bridgerton Catherine. Charlotte, sorry. It's great. Yeah, so it's great for the dynamic of what's going on, and it shows of how they would, you know, how they would have treated him, and then kind of, you know, how they did kind of would have treated him, and it's thing that's kind of documentary as well, thing. So it's kind of so loosely based on what would happen. Nobody's gonna know. You're never gonna know what's gonna happen behind either royalty or, you know, or presidents in the back. You're never gonna know the actual truth. Just always gonna be hidden. So this one I find is a good, compelling drama because of the acting in it, the acting and the subject matter, I suppose, of how your mind can get corrupted so much, and you've still got that, you know, you still want to kind of lead, I suppose, but literally everything just falls apart for him. So it's a great one. It's a misunderstood problem that people can have, you know, and how they can overcome it. Yeah, so yeah, it's a compelling story. Let's say that. It is a good one. Now, the next one, I love this movie. Absolutely love it. Just because of its subject matter, because it's just a great American movie. Yeah. And it's kind of shows, you know, if with the money and the backing, you know, the USA can achieve a lot. And I love this. My girlfriend doesn't like it so much, but I like it from it shows the start to how it leads off into the space race, and it's the right stuff. And I love this because it's got, you know, the pilots at the start, you know, all doing things, trying to get to that sound barrier, and then it's got the Mercury kind of astronaut kind of program against things, and all the test pilots, what they do, and their struggle to cope with what they did do and what they're doing and like that. But it's a great just kind of showing how it can be done, you know, like these kind of, it's all about the men, you know, the high flyers of the units and all that, of what they, you know, they're best at their job, but given, you know, take the leash off, let them do it, is what you can achieve with a lot of money, of course. But it shows, you know, that how the US space program kind of was done in a way. Again, it's a drama, loosely based, and it's a thrilling ride from start to finish when you kind of get, you know, all the test pilots doing their thing. A lot of it goes wrong, and then of course with the space program, a lot of it goes wrong, and it's just an electrifying ride is the best way to say it, because it shows things, and there's bits like you get the bit in the bar and you get the ending, you're like, oh, but it's a long movie, I think, this one, if I remember, but it does show, if you do have the right stuff, yeah, and you're unleashed, what you can actually do and you can achieve if you're a country. And so it's good old American story, let's put it there, you know. It's just, well, yeah, that's a good one, you know. It's probably, you can shout USA on this one. Yeah, so it's good. Sam Shepard in it is great. You've got Ed Harris, you know, it's like Dennis Quaid. It's got a good cast, but yeah, it's a good solid 8. It is a fun one. It's a long movie, but I do like it. I do like this movie. Yeah, so it's a must for me. Now, that's it. That's the last one. So yeah, it's a good one. Now, okay, so go to the fun now. I say there was ones that didn't, you know, if you want a hard hitting one that didn't get, it just missed out because I thought it's too intense. It's Ordinary People. It's a very hard one. That's an honourable mention there. But there was Boys Town that literally last minute came off. Cat on a hot tin roof missed out. I say even like the Help is a good one. You know, What's Eating Gilbert Grape great one. But they're to say, look at the thumbnail. You can pick any one really off it. But yeah, those are ones that I kind of just, when you kind of want to go, just want to watch a good movie, these are the ones that I would recommend watching because they're really great. They're just fun movies. Yeah, so take a moment, go and watch some drama. Sod the superheroes for now and the action movies, because that's all you get these days, don't you? Don't get really good drama. Probably why Oppenheimer did so well, because it's a good drama. So yeah, those are my recommendations. Go and hit it hard. Managed to get an Alex Guinness one in there again. I wonder if my next one does. Ooh. We'll have to see if it does. It probably does. Just looking at it now, does it have it on it? But yeah, again, there's going to be ones that would 100% make that list. Yeah. And you're going to comment away now to say, oh, this, you forgot this. See, there's great ones from the 50s. But yeah, these are ones I just want to, I like this. So yeah, give us your comments, because I like to hear what you think. Yeah. And about Sir Alex Guinness, of course. But yeah, as always, give us a like if you want to like. Stasis Geek out.